Hey guys, just a quick update letting you know what's going on. We haven't made any progress in a couple of days, really. So here's what happened. Dreamboat kept bogging down as we went up the hills and the mountains and stuff. And the first 2 days we went about 100 miles each day, roughly. And by the third day, it wasn't great. We really struggled.
Yeah, it went from struggling to get up a big hill to not being able to go up any hill to struggling on
not going downhill either. And he died. He just would cut out. And we'll do a more in-depth video on that situation and all the details that we went through to fix it. But here's a live update. We want to say a special thanks to Kate and Nelson.
And also Devin and to Randy.
And Randy, they, we broke down right in front of Kate and Nelson's farm, and they literally took us in off the street.
Let me help you get out of the road right now, please.
Right, this is unsafe. And so, yeah, I don't know, but, we decided at that point that we were going to check our fuel system. So you started with Nelson and Randy.
Yep. Yeah, we did some carb adjustments to back up slightly. We did some carb adjustments to the carb we had on there. Really couldn't get the secondaries open, which means basically under load it calls for even more fuel, and the secondaries open up. We couldn't get that working right.
Right, you, Randy, and Nelson were trying to trigger it manually to really get it to go, and it just wouldn't. Occasionally it would drip.
So we're thinking,
gas.
well, that's our problem.
So on night one, we installed a new carburetor.
Yep.
And it ran better, but it wasn't great.
It wasn't 100% solution. It still had the hills problem. For sure.
So we sort of sat down, we talked about it, and we decided that Randy suggested that we replace other parts in our fuel system, and Nelson and Kate basically said, you guys are welcome here, you guys can stay over, park here, get yourself sorted, take the time you need. So
yeah, at that point it was pretty clear that we needed to order some parts, so we went for the whole thing. It turns out AutoZone by some miracle could get a gas tank basically in
24
hours. And so knowing that, we basically decided to get fuel pump, gas tank,
sending unit.
Yeah, sending unit for the tank, all the lines. It turns out the lion's share of the problem may have been there's essentially a sock filter on the sending unit. So that to pull gas out of the tank, it was through this screen that was just covered in rusty junk.
And the guys on the farm suggested that maybe we did so well the first 2 days because the a packed layer of rust flake was coming loose as we vibrated.
Yeah, steadily more and more is coming loose, and it was a battle we were never going to win, basically.
Right. So we'll show the details of that project in the future. We just really wanted to let people know that when we're having a really hard day, all the love, the thumbs up, the likes, the subscriptions, all of that kind of stuff, it really helps keep morale going as we sort of put our way to our dads.
Yeah. It was the thing. We just launched it. We ordered the parts, took some what they had. They had some fuel line and whatnot. So I started immediately while the parts were on order. We're waiting for them. We launched into. I reran some fuel line. Shauna painted the frame and all around where the tank blocks. You can't get to the frame. She painted all around there.
They had a fuel pump in stock, so we just swapped that all out. The return lines were done.
Yep.
And when the tank came the following day, we reused our tank straps and we just installed it. And I have to say, he works a treat. He's running a little rich right now, so if you know about tuning, we've taken his idle speed down a little bit, and we did a bunch of test drives and stuff. He's a little smoky.
Pretty good, not perfect.
Correct. So, it is evening.
Yep.
And we've been trying to drive. So yesterday we made about 70 miles after the repair.
We put everything together, did a neighborhood test drive, kind of check everything, little drive, check everything. And everything was good. So we basically decided to make some progress last night.
So we made it to Harrisburg. Is that where we are?
Yep.
We're in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We're going to try to make another at least 100 miles this evening. We don't like to be on the road when well,
Commute times, but
commute times and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll let you know more about my experience with that when he was stalling. It was
people yelling, "Get out of the road!" Do
Yeah.
not help you get out of the road.
yeah,
That
they
doesn't-
weren't helping. And
Doesn't help.
by the end of the day, I'd been yelled at a lot, and I was feeling kind of sensitive about it. But
Yeah.
anyway,
I think we'd rather fixate on the people that were helpful.
we
'Cause they
struck
were awesome.
gold because they were amazing. We stayed at their farmyard for about 3 days, and just shy of 3 days.
And we were self-sufficient in the Airstream. We were basically just boondocking
Right.
over by the barn.
But the kindness of strangers, they offered us water and power, which we didn't really need, and tools, which also we carry our tools. So if you're familiar with our channel, you know that. But it was a gift for us to get off the road and just be safe somewhere where we could repair. And they didn't care that we were like taking our gas tank out and making a little bit of a mess. I mean, we cleaned up after ourselves, but that can be, if you don't know what
Yeah.
those kind of projects look like, those can be startling.
I think farmers
So-
are used to when you got to fix something, you just got to fix something,
gotta
and
fix it.
right now, or
So, channel updates. There's going to be weirdness, inconsistencies. We don't really know what we're heading into. We're trying to get to our dads. There's going to be things are going to be out of order in the timeline of the projects and that kind of stuff. But hang in there, stick with us. We've put out 100 videos.
Yep.
And this year, and what we didn't realize is we could go back through and put affiliate links for the things that we use regularly, the parts to complete projects and that kind of stuff. So we started.
If we do a thing, it will try to show you where you might be able to get the parts. To be able to do it if you want to.
Right, and that gives us a little bit of.
It doesn't cost you any extra. We get a couple cents if you.
But we
buy
get a
something,
couple of
so.
cents, right, for the Dreamboat project. So that really helps. The biggest thing you can do is subscribe, because we're locked out on a lot of YouTube features. For example, I don't know how this is going to come through. We're trying to use third-party software. We don't have 1,000 subscribers yet, and so YouTube has locked us out.
So yeah,
We can't do live, so we have to use weird software.
it'll be less glitchy if we just get over that threshold.
Get over that hump, yeah. And it allows us to monetize our channel, which means we get ad revenue and that kind of stuff. We could do like cool hats or shirts or whatever swag, but neither here nor there. That's our update. It's almost 7:30, so it's almost time for us to hit the road and see if we can make tracks for tonight.
Yep. Yeah, if you could, please subscribe, and always ask questions, leave comments, whatnot. I was happy to answer a question on how did you do that thing, or what's that size, or whatever. Just
Exactly. Yeah, we're here to
ask
help.
away.
We're here to learn, and through the gift of strangers on the road, we are still on the go. So, once again, thank you to Randy, Kate, Nelson, and Devin. Your kindness just really touched us and was helpful. Also, it's really heartening when people are like shouting out the window, "We subscribed," that kind of stuff. We support your channel. Yay, go project. So that's when we're struggling, that stuff really matters. So You guys have a good night. It's time for us to get on the road, and we will catch up with you guys later.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. Have a good night.